The Osight XR is the most interesting pistol red dot on the market right now. And it's made by a flashlight company. Not a joke. Osight is the optic arm of Olight, the people who make some pretty good flashlights on the market. And they built a dot that does two things nobody at the top of this market even bothers doing. The kind of thing that make you stop and go, wait, you can actually do that? And the cherry on top is that the price is half of its competitors. I did not want it to like it at first because I used to have a pile of proven options from companies with a longer standing reputation. The Trijicon SRO, Holosun 507 comp, big windows, pretty good glass, and years of competitors trusting them to work. I have two of these now, and I'm not saying being innovative automatically means trustworthy, but the reason I keep coming back to buying more has everything to do with the fact that this thing earned its place. I have abused one pretty bad, this one, sorry bud, and everybody wants to hate this thing. But to me, I think they just execute it pretty well. Quick disclosure before I get called a shill, because I bought this dot with my own money, no strings attached. They don't even know I'm making this video and they never asked me to do one. Because this dot just makes it easy to recommend to others. And it does the most important things well. And some of the other features, time will tell. And for full transparency, Osight sent me this exact dot before, but the one I'm going to be talking about is not that one. This review is going to be the one that I bought myself, which is exactly why when I say this next part, I wanted to say with love and grace, because the red dot market has gotten pretty lazy. Innovation at the top has basically become a new color option. But nothing wrong with that. So when a relatively new company shows up with a new and different enclosed emitter on the industry standard RMR footprint, then stacks 3 new ideas on top of it, it's hard to not want to try it out. And let me tell you, it's really cool. There's 2 things that the Osight XR does that I cannot shut up about. First, super big window. At first, I was like, how much bigger can it be? From my EPS carry to this Osight XR, it's a big difference. Also, they have a multi-reticle system, and you might say, we've been had that. So what? Which is true. The multi-reticle system has been out here for a while, but it mostly has just been turning on and off a big ring around the same MOA center dot. This though, this is really cool, because if you hold the minus button down, you can cycle between a 2 MOA dot and a 6 MOA dot, either with or without the 32 MOA ring. And for most people, that is just a nice to have. For me, it's one of the reasons I own this optic, and the other reason is probably what you would think it is. Now, for a little background, I have astigmatism, and it's not the cute kind. My astigmatism is bad enough that I do not like driving at night. Those damn white LED headlights, I am actually a danger to the streets. I'm that one Family Guy meme. So when I look at a tiny 2 MOA dot, most of the time, it looks like somebody sneezed a comment onto my lens. I'm over exaggerating. Really, it's not that bad because for some reason, the 6 MOA dot looks crystal clear to me. Plus, it helps when I shoot in any competition match. So when a stage calls for a tighter shot, I'll switch to a 2 MOA dot. And the fact that I can make that call myself per stage without buying a second optic, that is the entire evolution. And a great reticle means absolutely nothing if the thing falls apart on you. So I did the dumbest thing possible that you can probably do to an optic on purpose. Which is why there's another critical reason that this optic made me want to buy more. But first, I have to talk about the crazy unique features, because everything on here has a pro and a con. So let's start with the charging. It is a magnetic hood that slides over to the optic and charges the internal battery. I don't know about you guys, but every pistol I've owned takes a different form of button batteries. So my range bag has like 6 or 7 different kinds of batteries, and somehow I gotta remember which one takes which. Speaking of batteries, depending on your reticle, the XR can run from 22,000 to 54,000 hours, which is what most of us should be looking for nowadays. I haven't charged this thing in a while, and whenever you put a cage back on it, you can see exactly what battery life it is at. which now that I'm talking about it, it's low-key kind of a nice bonus to worry less about battery life. But let's say you did forget to charge your battery in a long time. This is just another small item to remember where you placed it, and I don't have space as is for random crap in my range bag, so it gets a little annoying to store because space is just limited as is. My recommendation is just charge it once a month. It's literally so simple. Then there's the collapsible backup rear sights, the little iron sight that pops up out of the housing. Cool trick. But a folding sight is just another moving part. A fixed co-witness is arguably the stronger answer, and I'd be lying if I pretended otherwise. But personally, I hate co-witnessing, so this is just a nice little reassurance. But this is the reason why I kept buying this optic, is the housing that this optic sits in. I'm talking about the abuse. I don't know how many rounds I've shot on my main Osight XR, but I'm sure it's more than 5,000. I don't count, which is a little weird because I am a spreadsheet guy, but for round count, I'm a shoot until it's empty and then be sad kind of guy. But it has been a lot of rounds, more than the average individual that will shoot in a year. And the dot has held 0 the entire time. No drift, nothing loosening up on me. And this is the optic I paid for with my own money that I've abused, dropped, and slammed. That is the unit you're looking at. And if you like this optic so far and want to support this channel, there's my Amazon affiliate link in the description, because the enclosed emitter is the best part that actually earned my trust. Because the failure mode that kills open dots, and I know this firsthand because it was raining once during my match and a water droplet shifted my 0 mid-match.
Yeah, dot's off. Okay, dot is off.
I was missing shots and it was so embarrassing. It made me feel so frustrated. I will never buy another open emitter, and plus, when I previously had my 507K, I don't really clean my gun, so the lint was very annoying. It gets in the way of the emitter and there's a little bunch of specks and dots that just... There was so much debris I can see. Hopefully, if you've liked this gun review so far in this tech style, subscribe, because that's the entire premise of this channel. So let me actually sort this out, because this is not a buy it or don't. It really depends entirely of who you are. Buying an optic isn't a question anymore. To most people, it's almost a default. So when you've already spent $800+ and then you have to spend another $400 to $500 on accessories, it does sting the soul a little bit. And I know this because I'm stingy like that. And I bought this first XR used. If that tells you exactly how stingy I am, I bought it on tax swap. And the fact that it is a closed emitter, a huge window, a low cost, and a lifetime transferable warranty, it is not just a plus, it's the entire premise of what makes this so good. Not to mention all the extra tech. The Osight XR is the best bang for your buck enclosed multi-reticle option on the market. Wow, that was a mouthful. Osight took a premium-only enclosed format to a market where most people could actually benefit from. And that's just for everyday carry. Competition shooters, by the way, I use it mainly for comp. So the 2 versus 6 MOA dot punches way above its price. I am looking forward to seeing all the long-term track records of this optic because it's still relatively new. So how will it hold up after 2, 3, or 4 years? I'm not sure, but then again, lifetime warranty. Now the part that I'm not going to dodge. There is chatter online. A handful of individuals are reporting different issues with these dots. I'm not going to pretend that there isn't. If you're going to be spending your hard-earned money, you deserve to know it exists. Before I tell you, my first XR has been flawless, but my second XR came with a reticle that sat slightly off-centered. It's generally so hard to describe and even harder to show on camera, so don't expect a dramatic close-up. I tried. I really tried, but it really wasn't that bad, and maybe I'm going crazy or whatever, but whatever. But here's the thing though, the 0 did not shift at all. It went through a couple thousand rounds and functionally it was fine. And it's not like other established companies haven't had issues of their own. All of that to say, the real question isn't does it break, because everything eventually breaks. Except that Toyota Helix on that one Top Gear episode, and hopefully you know what I'm referring to. Anyways, I use this opportunity as a test on what happens when it actually breaks and how would they respond? So I ran a warranty replacement and I'll be honest, it was kind of too easy. You would think that's a given, right? right? Easy communication with good customer service? No. So having a frictionless warranty is not a small thing. It's part of the whole package. So here's my predictions in the next 2 or 3 years. The multi-reticle, magnetic recharging, and huge window, the all-in-one formula, I would call it, will quietly become the standard that big names will get dragged into. Still probably at twice the price point. So I actually want to know where you land on all of this. What are your thoughts so far if you do or don't have any Osights? And I hope you do enjoy this style of content. Consider watching this one and subscribing.